Hi, I'm Wheeltips Joe. I give wheelchair tips to wheelchair users and travelers from around the world. Today, I'm going to kick off a social media platform called Lessons Learned with Wheeltips Joe. I was inspired to make this video, this one right here in particular, because of the subject that I'm going to talk about today. But a little bit about me first. I'm a wheelchair user. As a result of a car crash 45 years ago, I'm a paraplegic. I've been using a wheelchair the majority of my life. But I was inspired to make this video because of the recent celebrations of the Americans with Disabilities Act, the 31st anniversary, and because October is National Disability Employment Awareness Month. Now, as we move toward the 32nd anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990, this coming July 2022, according to me, this landmark legislation for people with disabilities was an excellent start. Just start. Now is the time for current and future generations of individuals collectively to talk about what we want and when we want it. Together, let's take accessibility, adaptability, employability, inclusion, and quality of life for people with disabilities to a higher level of everyday acceptance in all walks of life, including but not limited to these 19 areas: air travel, beach access, community-based services, deinstitutionalization, economics, education, entertainment, healthcare, housing, labor, law, love, philanthropy, politics, religion, sex, technology, therapeutic recreation, transportation, and war. Now, from a disability perspective, I got this question to ask. What do people with disabilities want, and when do we want it? If you're feeling me right now, I want you to imagine yourself looking in the mirror. I want you to chant 5 times like you're calling the candy man. Except I want you to chant these words instead. What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? Yes, the question still remains. In 2021, going into 2022, what do people with disabilities want, and when do we want it? As I chanted 5 times like I was calling the candy man, I got answers for these 19 topic areas from a disability perspective. And today I'm going to cover just one topic area. The first one, air travel. I'm inspired to do this topic right now because every time I open social media up and Facebook or Instagram, I see where somebody in a wheelchair got their wheelchair damaged by the airline. So that's why I want to talk about air travel. We want airlines to protect our wheelchairs and us too when boarding and deboarding the plane. We want airlines to know that our wheelchair is an extension of our body. Just like you have legs, our wheelchairs are our legs. And we want you to treat it with care and respect. Able-bodied people, this analogy is for you. Imagine when you walk immediately off the plane at the jetway, you discover that your leg is broken and you can't take another step nor move from that spot that you're in. What would you do? How would you feel? You would need some help now, wouldn't you? Like a basketball player being helped off the court after rupturing their Achilles tendon. Well, that's similar to how a wheelchair user feels when we find out that our wheelchair is broken. We can't move. Our wheelchair is our legs. We want airlines to adopt a take care of our wheelchair campaign. And this goes for our sports wheelchairs too. We want airlines to stop breaking our wheelchairs and giving us our wheelchairs back to us in the same condition that it was before they stowed it away. And if you break it, we want you to have a loaner wheelchair that is similar to ours waiting on us. Also, we want airlines to provide designated wheelchair accessible spaces on every commercial aircraft, which will allow us wheelchair passengers to use our own personal wheelchairs where we can remain safely parked in our personal chairs, just like we park in handicap parking. They will have designated spaces on airplanes where we can roll onto the aircraft, where you don't have to worry about picking us up, transporting us in an aisle chair, and taking us to our seat. We'll be in our own personal chair. The main thing is that because we'll be in our own personal chair, you don't have to take it down and store it under the aircraft and risk breaking our chair. And we can feel confident and comfortable in knowing that, hey, we don't come with our wheelchair. Our wheelchair comes with us and it's right here underneath our body because we're sitting in it on the plane. And by the way, for the record, the airlines have broken my wheelchairs on numerous occasions. Let me tell you a story about the fear of getting our wheelchair damaged when we fly. I recently flew home, actually flew home to pick up my brand new wheelchair. But I wouldn't fly back with my brand new wheelchair with the fear that it might get damaged on the plane. Now, when I travel with my old beat up, strong wheelchair. So if the airline break it, no big deal because you didn't break my new one. And at least I got a second chair just in case if you did break it. But the point is that I had to leave my brand new wheelchair at home and fly back in my old wheelchair. Now I'm going to have to drive my car back to my house just to pick up my brand new wheelchair. All because of the fear that the airlines breaks our wheelchairs on a regular basis, year after year after year after year. So what do we want? We want airlines to stop breaking our wheelchairs, and we want it now. I'm Wheeltips Joe, and you have just been tipped. I'll see you for the next topic on Lessons Learned with Wheeltips Joe. If you like it, we'll continue to have this series if you like it. If you don't like it, we still gonna put these videos out because I got 18 more topic areas to go. See y'all next time, cause I'm coming.